So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. And if these Galaxy S26 Ultra rumors are true, I'm definitely waiting for this phone right here. Let's start with the very first one, and that's going to be the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip. Now that's going to be 3 nanometers, and we've seen it already on some other phones on the market, including the recently announced Honor Magic 8 Pro. We've seen it on the OnePlus 15 already. And we're even seeing it on some other devices coming out. So definitely going to be something to look out for, but this is going to be for Galaxy. So it's going to be an overclock chip, which is going to make the Samsung Galaxy S line even better. Now the next one is the 6.9-inch display is going to remain on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. This is the 5 Ultra. We're going to use this to talk about it because they're kind of close. But it's going to be the M14 OLED display. That is to say, the same one you find on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but a little bit better because it's going to have the anti-reflective properties Samsung's known for, the dynamic AMOLED, the 120 Hertz. You're going to find yourself 2600 nits, but really one of the main things that's rumored to come is an AI privacy screen. So using this phone and having a privacy built-in screen, that's pretty cool. I think that's going to be a neat and very exclusive feature to the Galaxy line specifically. So if they do end up bringing the AI privacy screen, that's going to be a big deal. Now, the rumored cameras are kind of like a 200 megapixel main, kind of like what we already see right now. But we should be seeing a 50 megapixel 5x periscope, 12 megapixel telephoto. But we'll see what happens. I don't see them changing everything though on the camera, but it will be nice to see them improve the front-facing camera. I'm not sure they're going to just yet, but I'd like to see more of an ultra-wide front-facing camera as well. Now, the actual storage is rumored to go to 16 gigabytes of RAM, depending on the storage tier. I mean, you could get that already, but you have to go way up in the price. I'd like to see 16 gigs of RAM across the board on the S26 Ultra, but as of now, the 12 gig of RAM has been fine on the S25 Ultra, but 16 gigs of RAM I think would be even better than the 12 gigs that we have right now. So I'm definitely waiting to see if they'll bring 16 gigabytes of RAM across the board for these phones. That would be a very neat touch. Now, the software is going to be One UI 8.5 based on Android 16, which is definitely the more modern software. The one you're seeing right here is One UI 8. I do have 8.5 on the S25 here, the smaller edition of the phone. And really what's changed is a lot of the icons, the look of the quick panel area. There's quite a nice new suite of new features as well inside of One UI 8.5, but they just continue to bring some refinements and polish to the software that we're not used to seeing from every single manufacturer. So I definitely like to see One UI 8.5 and how it rocks out on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. I've been liking the look here. You know, I see it already here on in the beta version here on the S25. It's been kind of nice. I do like how they're cleaning things up a little bit. They brought the search over there. If you look at the quick panel, it's a lot more customizable now. If we go in the settings, it looks cleaner than ever before. So I'm really excited to see the S26 Ultra with its S Pen, the One UI 8.5, and the faster chipset on board. I'm expecting better thermals as well for this device. Now, rumors are having it that Samsung's going to stick with the 5,000 milliamp hour battery on this phone, which is kind of disappointing if I'm being honest with you, because other phone makers are now giving you carbon silicon batteries and things of that sort, which makes them kind of seem like they're a little bit behind if they stick with this 5,000. So definitely want to see that. Now, we are expected to see 60 watts of wireless charging. So when you go to charge this device, it should be a little bit faster than before on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. And at 60 watts, it's actually a good amount quicker. Now, that would actually put it far ahead the iPhone, but still behind things like the OnePlus and some other Chinese phones that are doing like 100 watts. So the charging speed, definitely upgrading, but please, I hope we see a bigger battery than 5,000. But I don't know if we will. You know, they've been sticking with that for a while. So we'll have to see if rumor remains true that they stick with the 5,000. I hope not. I want to see carbon silicon And that would be a nice shocker if they did bring that. Let me know your thoughts on the battery down below. Do you think they're going to bring a carbon silicon, or they're going to stick with the 5000 lithium ion? Now, when it comes to connectivity, we are going to see the One UI's 8.5 is going to give, this phone's going to give you faster 5G. It's going to give you Wi-Fi 7 support, Bluetooth 6, and I do expect to see something that we haven't seen in a while on the Ultra line, and that is more rounded edges for the corners. So you can see they already started to kind of make it less pointy in the corners with the S25 Ultra, but I do think on the S26 Ultra, it's going to get even more rounded at the corners while still retaining kind of the same look. So more rounded, but not getting fully away from the iconic Samsung Ultra look. So I think it's going to be a nice polished, refined look, and probably going to match closer to the One UI 8.5's look here. As you can see, like that rounded shape there. I think they're going to kind of keep that hardware consistent with those software elements right there. That should make the phone definitely worth waiting for if you like a more comfortable ergonomic feel in the hand while still retaining the S Pen. That's going to be a nice look. I do think we are going to see a similarly small punch hole. Some are saying we might see a pill-shaped camera island. I don't know. I doubt that. It could happen though, but I expect to see a small punch hole. I wouldn't even be shocked if Samsung throws some innovative under-display camera, but I don't know. They kind of been sticking with the punch hole for a while. So my money is on there's still going to be a hole in the screen somewhere. That's where I'm thinking. So the AI integration is probably going to improve substantially on the camera. Specifically, look out for that. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the upgrades in AI, as we kind of already have a nice Galaxy AI suite on board. And a lot of people are still betting on AI in 2026. Although AI is starting to get a little bit annoying because everybody keeps pushing that same thing. You know, we also do want to see better battery and better cameras and better things that actually practically matter to us day to day in the hardware. That's what we're paying for at the end of the day. But the AI push is not over. It's continuing. And I think you're going to see some of that still be talked about quite a bit on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. But my money is on the cameras seeing AI upgrades. I also think you're going to see them go away from this look right here with these camera rings. I think we're going to see something like the Z Fold 7 here, where you can see, actually I have a case on. Let me take this off really quickly. I actually think you're going to see this type of thing, like this type of camera housing right here with the same shiny edges right here, these like shiny chrome looking edges. You're going to see that type of hump, I think, on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Now that's probably going to create a little bit of a rock on the table for this phone, so you probably are going to want to get one of those promotion cases for the phone, so do keep that in mind right there. But other than that, I do think the phone is going to look kind of similar but more polished, rounded, and giving you better AI features. Also, I think you can expect 7 years of software support on the upcoming S26 Ultra. So that is something that I think is Samsung's going to stick with. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if they started bringing 8 years of support just to outdo the competition. But recently, they seem to have been taking back some features and not only giving us, you know, the the best of the best. I'm a little bit nervous about seeing a just an eSIM only option. I really hope that doesn't happen. I would bet that they don't do it yet, but they could. But seeing that other Android phones still have the SIM card, besides the Pixel 10 Pro XL, I do think that we might still see it here on the upcoming S26 Ultra. So all those things we talked about here make me pretty excited for the Galaxy S26 Ultra, bringing quite a few new features, including the same like high-end experience. S Pen should be actually an upgrade too. I think we're going to see a different change to the S Pen as well. I think what's going to happen is the S Pen is actually going to give us a more rounded feel, but I think the S Pen is going to feel a little bit nicer. And I also think that they're going to keep it on the same side, but I also feel that it might color match the phone a little bit more this year as well. But I don't think they're bringing back the Bluetooth features on the S26 Ultra. That is that's what my money's on right now. So overall, if all these rumors are pretty much true for the Galaxy S26 Ultra, I do think that we have a potential winner on our hands once again. It seems to me like they're not trying to mess with success here, but also improve in some of the areas that might matter to you, like a faster processor, a really nice camera upgrade, a privacy screen upgrade. same software longevity, and giving you a more polished software with One UI 8.5 over here and more rounded edges. So I think we're seeing a nice polished, refined phone again, kind of like what Apple did with the 17 Pro Max from the 16 Pro Max. That's what I think we're looking forward to here. And it's pretty exciting overall. It's not like a groundbreaking change I think we're going to see, but we are going to see a phone that just improves upon the already great S25 Ultra. So let me know your thoughts on the S26 Ultra. I'm not going to show images and get copyright or anything like that of some leaks or anything like that. So we just talked about it using the S25 Ultra, but I want to know your take on it. Are you waiting for this phone? Is this your next phone? And are you excited for it? Let us know down below in the comments. Let's discuss the S26 Ultra, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.